Yeah.
The Board of Assessors meeting, April 2nd at 4:30 is now in session. The first on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the March 12th meeting.
Mr. Chairman?
Huh? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. I just need to let you know that I'm recording the meeting. This meeting is being recorded.
It's being recorded here.
Recorded here as well.
Right.
Do we need authorization?
Motion?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, motion?
Second it? All in favor? Okay. There's no old business. The new business is Catalyst Patriot vendor issue, 2024 personal property. And there's a statement that the board has put together, and the principal assessor, Wendy Jones, and read as such. Whitman Assessor Office uses appraisal software for real and personal property, which is maintained by Catalyst, also known as Patriots. Now, Catalyst is a huge conglomerate that purchased Patriot in December 16, 2022. This vendor is contracted annually by the town to do data collection, new asset value, entries to appraisal software system of all real and personal property for 5,352 parcels. The business personal property accounts assets total approximately 4% of the town's value. These 214 business personal property accounts self-report the business property such as equipment and inventory. The asset data is verified and entered by Catalyst into their database system. The Assessors Office received inquiry from a taxpayer regarding fiscal 2024 third quarter, fourth quarter business personal property valuations. After the principal assessor, Wendy Jones, started researching, there appeared to be a problem with some of the F24 business personal property values. She reached out to the billing and appraisal software vendors. A conference call was conducted March 4th to address the issue with Mark Hamill, which in attendance was myself, Wendy Jones, and several town officials. It was determined by Mark Hamill of Catalyst Patriot the valuation discrepancies were clerical and software errors by Catalyst Patriot for the FY24 business personal property accounts. Mark further stated that Catalyst Patriot promised to have the impact of FY24 personal property values restored by his staff by April 1st. After the impact of F24 personal property values have been restored, Wendy Jones will conduct the necessary supplemental billing and abatements for the impact business personal property accounts. The assessors wanted to find the source of the problem and provide a solution before we inform the taxpayers. And we still wait further clarification from Catalyst Patriot at this time. So that's the issue of personal property. That's the word about Wendy Jones. Wendy Jones was hired by the Board of Assessors back in July of 2023. She is well qualified. She has her certification, MAA, And she was hired by the board to do the job to just search out, research, investigate the overall aspect of the property. We've always had an assessor within the organization from 40 years. And, many times it may have worked 40 years, but now changes have taken all over the place, not only in municipalities, but companies. And with her experience, her insight, her knowledge, and her contacts, that's what she was hired to do. If we're doing something wrong, let's fix it. If it needs to be improved, let's improve it. If it's fine, let's leave it alone. But she was hired to do this. And also was endorsed by Kathy Keith upon her being hired. Now, it has come to my attention, because of a new person in the position, that sometimes there's interference that takes place with this. And I just say that right now, that has to stop. If it doesn't stop, there could be further action taken. Let her do her job, what she was hired to do. And if you have any issues with her or with that department, you forward those issues to the Board of Assessors, not to Patriot or not to accountant. Okay, if you have an issue, or if anyone in the town has issues with the Assessors Department, they forward that issue to the Board of Assessors. And to me, it's somewhat childish to be bouncing back and forth other than going to the proper channels.
Are you finished, John?
I also stated to the board, and I'll state to anyone else there, that this board and the assessor will be as transparent in our actions as you possibly can by law. You're not going to be turning the cheek. Oh, let's hide this. It's going to be open. And if they have any issues, anyone has issues, they can direct it to the Board of Assessors. It's time to change. Change is good. Everything evolves. We had a new person in our department. We also have people in other departments that are new too. Give them a chance to do their job and see how much we as a town can learn from them and not just hinder their ability to do their job. Because if you hinder their ability, they're going to leave the town. Then other town will pick them up, especially if they're qualified. I think that's all. I think I said what I wanted to say. Heidi, you want to speak?
I do. So first,
You have the floor.
some people may say after 30 years, why all of a sudden are these things coming up? Well, this is the story. For the longest time, we have we've had our assessors, and they've done the Patriot thing. Well, Wendy, in her role in Plimpton, actually did the residential and commercial assessments herself. So she is sometimes looking at the work, found some things, irregularities, and some incorrect things that needed to be corrected. And that's okay. We had talked about the personal property. There have been a few things in the real property that we found. One, there was $1 million-something building that was closed out by Patriot. We don't know how that happened, but it did, but we caught it. So we put it back in, and that was a good thing. Let me finish, Kathy, please, and then you can talk. We're still doing an analysis to see if there's any other things that need correcting. Here's the thing. The Board of Assessors has to be sure that the property assessments are fair, equitable, and accurate. We cannot knowingly sign off on any incorrect information if we know it's incorrect. We have to do according to the DOR. So if we know something's wrong, it has to be corrected. I will not ever sign off on an evaluation that is incorrect. I can't. I cannot do that. That's not who I am. We are here to serve the taxpayers of Whitman, and we are accountable to the Massachusetts Department of Revenue. Given the financial situation in this town right now, it is vital that we capture all the revenue we can. We can make sure that things are being assessed the way they have to be assessed so we're not losing out. We don't want to lose out. It's so important that we catch all of it. We're in a crunch right now. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on everyone. We know that. The town, we know things are going on, and we're trying to work through them as a town. I think we have to work as a team together. Our intention in finding these mistakes is not in any way to point any fingers at anybody. That is not the purpose. The purpose is, if we find something, let's work together, let's correct it, and let's move forward. And we should do that as a team. It doesn't have to be this. There is no reason for this. That's how I feel. I just think tempers get up, people get stressed, people will say things that in the heat of the moment, perhaps. I don't know. But I do know that that's why we are here. And if there's anything wrong, please come to us. We're here. That's what our purpose is. We are responsible for the valuations that get to the DOR. It's us. We take that pledge when we get elected. It's serious. So if there's something wrong with the valuations, we have to know first. We do. If there's something going on, we have to know it. It's so important that this board stays in the loop. We are accountable for Wendy. We hired her. We signed her contract.
And she's accountable to us.
And even though I know that Mary Beth signed the Patriot contract, that's been standard practice so they can get paid. But if there's anything going on with the vendor that affects valuations that we have to sign off on, we are accountable for that. And that's what we think. We are accountable for Wendy. So if somebody thinks there's something wrong, they need to just tell us. We are easy people to talk to. But when things get to the point where it's just this thing and then this thing and then this thing and this thing, and next thing you know, everyone's upset. Everyone's upset and nothing gets resolved. So let's just try to be a team, is what I'm going to say.
Just for point of clarification here, you're an elected board. So
Correct.
the public elects the
Yep.
board.
Yep.
Therefore, all aspects of assessment should be running through this board.
That's right.
And as far as questions, you can question Patriots properties,
Right.
as a citizen or whatever, but every aspect and decision should not be diverted from the board.
It's our responsibility.
It's also your
by law, right?
legal
Yep.
responsibility.
Yep.
Like you were liable. So, but also we have a situation where, for whatever reason, it's about moving forward here, right?
I agree.
And so
We want a better with Whitman. Okay,
so the board has said, listen, we'd like to evolve into a different form
That's right.
of assessment, a cleaner, more precise, updated form of assessment. Would a technical audit, I think we mentioned this before from the state, just a quick look back to how we can improve in the aspect of improving, especially because we're looking at overrides. A technical audit from the state to look at anything is great.
Could discuss that.
So just to look at our best way to use our revenue, and then you, of course, continue to make the good decisions that you've sort of shifted towards
What do you think?
the new decisions. I mean, that would be a Board of Selectmen.
Right. Yes.
So I think that's not going to come from them. That would be if the Board of Selectmen is in disagreement with anything and they want to review how revenue is taken in and utilize. They can utilize it. And I would do it outside of the town. I wouldn't have the selectmen picking who audits, but have it from DOR coming in and look at what kind of revenue do you have, how are you utilizing that revenue. And it'll give a more credibility, I think.
And I believe there's no cost for that either.
It's free.
It's free. It's a free audit.
It's a free audit. It's quick. It's free. No issues.
Want
Just
to discuss?
a checkup.
What-
It goes through a lot of it. Clinton did one.
Need to discuss.
Look at
It's a
that. But it goes through.
Selectmen decide that.
You're safe.
Selectmen decide that.
Does go, you're talking assessment,
Everything.
everything.
Yeah, it goes through everything. It just talks about how we're using it, since it's free.
I have a question.
It's interesting for discussion.
Pardon me? Oh, I just had a question.
Mm-hmm.
You cited that a $1 million plus property got disappeared, or
It was closed out by Patriot.
which property was that?
Wendy?
Are we talking 629 Washington Street?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Okay. So that got closed out, and the assessor knew to supplementally bill that after the fact.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm not understanding. So is this? I don't understand. So it happened. You corrected it. So why? So I've heard it in a finance committee meeting mentioned. I haven't listened to the Board of Assessors meetings, but my intention is to do so. So I'm not sure
sure.
what that factor has to do with
That's
what
what.
we're all talking about.
Well, it's got to do with why did Patriot do that is what we're getting at. That's all. That's why we want to know the why, what happened, why.
Fair.
That's fair. And any other things
Right.
like that we find, we want to know why. We want to make the corrections and we want to move forward. That's all we're doing.
We have the right to do that,
That's all
Of course,
we're
that's
doing.
right.
okay?
Of course. So,
Without question.
It's not anything but making sure that we have it right.
right. And so may I follow up? It was an inference. I think it was directed to me that I've been interfering. Do I have that correct? Am I?
Was your name mentioned?
It's a question.
Was your name mentioned? Any names mentioned at all?
No.
There's no names mentioned.
But if.
But the names indicated that there's interference. And that's how it's going to be made.
Right. By whom?
That's my position to take. Interference with some town people, period.
Right. So-
And it's not your concern. That's the board's concern to make that evaluation,
Correct.
their determination.
Correct.
And if it has to go further, it will go further.
So for the record.
Okay? For the record, I'm not telling you.
No. I'm about to make a statement for the record. Do I have your permission?
You can talk, of course, Kathy.
Awesome. For the record, for the recording, I just want it to be known, it is my opinion, that I've done nothing but reach out to Wendy and offer help. Congratulate her on jobs well done. Have I not in the past done that, Wendy? Anyways, doesn't matter. But for the record, I've been helpful. That's what I want to say. I continue to be helpful. And I think we just all want the problem corrected because it involves more than, it involves now the billing, the collector's office. It's
Some of them.
more than,
We all want this to be resolved in a medical way.
That's all we're trying to do.
And in my first statement, when this issue first stayed up, I made a statement to all of those involved. No pointing fingers. Let's find out what happened, correct it, and move on.
Still
Now getting close to that stage, but we're having problems with Patriot really performing what they should be doing and letting us know that they've been delinquent in this. Granted, being a huge conglomerate, which they are, and that changed December of 2022. Yeah, and just from my experience working with different corporations, you get too big, you lose the closeness or the interaction that you'd have when you're smaller. And this is what's happened to Patriot. And it's a shame because they're a good firm. We wouldn't have had them for so many years. But as you get bigger, you lose sight of the small people that they had that made them where they were before they were acquired. And I've seen corporations which, once they acquire you, they swallow you up and the person that's there is gone. And that's just what I'm saying about Patriot. Patriot has problems not only in this town. I know of other towns, larger. And it's unfortunate with personnel and new systems. But that's what we want to do. That's all you want to do is get to the source, rectify it, make sure it doesn't happen again, move on, give people what they're entitled to, whether they get an abatement or they get a supplement that's going to cost a little more bucks. That's our intent. But, I mean, some of the reporting by Patriot is not professional. And, I mean,
We got stuff with like
a second
handwriting.
grader could do
It
better.
was like handwriting on it. It was like
You've seen it, right? And the point there is, why couldn't they, and that was not asked of that. We asked it specifically at the discussion of March 4th with Mark. So I'm saying, things will change, things will get better, we will all get over this, and we'll probably be better off for it. But it's going to take time, but we want to pin them down to a timetable that things will get done. For betterment for you, for getting revenue in this house, gosh knows, right? And then see what the story about, what is Mark's position now? Saying there's now an executive vice president that's signing stuff, not Mark. Mark is not in the same position as he was prior to the acquisition of from Catalyst.
Mary Beth wants to say something, right?
Yes, thank you. Do you think, looking at the time schedule, that there will still be time to do the recommitments for all the properties that were undervalued, so we can get that revenue in fiscal 24?
Yeah.
So you think they'll be billed before May 30th?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we have 30 days to get that.
We're pushing.
Yeah.
We're pushing.
Yeah, I
We're
have
pushing
until
Mary Beth
June
either.
20th, but I'm planning to do it much sooner.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing that Bindi mentioned in conversations with her is you have to do the preliminary billing for fiscal 25. So where the abatements haven't been done and, the recommits done, another option is to use the 25 valuations based on the 24 tax rate. And those would be cleaner than right now using any 24s.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to her and
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah.
something.
That we discussed. We are pushing for that.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. So we're having a good conversation here, right? And we're all out and open. So can I say this? Clean slate. Let's go on from here. Let's fix everything. Let's get everything done, and let's work as a team.
Yeah, let's move on as a team. It's one
Let's
town.
just do it.
We're here for one town. We're here for the residents in the
We're
town
all
of
here for
Whitman.
the same reason, aren't we?
And if things aren't being done right, fix them. If things are done the way it should be done, and no need of modifications, then leave it alone. But just because things are done 20, 30 years, at that point maybe they're fine. But things do change,
Absolutely.
and people hate it. But it's part of life. Anyway.
Anyway,
No.
that's what I have to say.
I don't
Let's
think there's
just
ever
work.
been any
Right.
conversations that were raised voices or anything crazy in any of this discussion with any of us. Right? I mean, have you had any? We have
Not at
never
all.
been.
No, we have held a lot of emails, so I ran out of paper.
You don't have to print them. Save them.
I printed them. That's what I'm saying. I ran out of
I
paper.
said, don't print them.
Oh, don't print
Just
them.
save them.
No.
Just save them.
Took 2.5 weeks after mine crashed, so please.
We all want to get to the bottom of this, and we want to know. It's so important because of revenue and budgeting that we have to
fight
know
for that.
the total dollars overvalued, and then abatements and total undervalued, and then commit them again,
Correct.
so we can get the revenue in.
And that's what Winnie's been doing, and they want it segregated, the over and under. Okay, that mess they gave was disgusting, totally unprofessional, and that Wendy wanted an Excel sheet that addresses it, which it was in the beginning. I mean, anyone should be doing this. I mean, not just think this is going to pass.
I was just going to say something on that because I did receive that report as well. But that report is flawed in that it's only looking at assessments from fiscal 25 to fiscal 24.
Is it?
It's not comparing it to the billing file. And that's where the valuations that they're looking at on that file, on that report,
Right.
do not show what was actually billed. So
Right.
who'd
I'm
we-
trying to build just another
So
sheet.
we're gonna.
Yeah, so I have a different spreadsheet that's based on what was billed as well. So I just want to wait and see what they provide, and
Right.
then we'll just go
The
from
max.
Because they don't have anything to do with the billing.
Right,
That's
exactly,
the big
yeah.
factor on
Right.
the overval and underval
Right,
is the assessment versus the bill. So,
correct.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, Wendy's on top of that.
Yeah.
Has that
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
sheet that needs to be
We're
done.
trying to work.
Okay, she's very good at that.
Yeah.
She's very thorough. Very thorough. Anything else?
Go ahead.
You can go to the bathroom now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong one, I'm sorry.
Just in terms of, sometimes you can get caught in the micro, the small stuff, those intimate things, whatever that is. And I think Heidi says it, clean slate, and get back into the macro.
Get in the
the
sink.
larger
In the sink of
picture.
things.
Yeah,
Let's
those
just
larger
fix
picture
it.
and the bigger.
One town, one team.
That's it.
Let's
That's
work
it.
together. We have enough going on already. We have enough challenges.
Oh, yeah.
As
Here,
a
let us
town,
do our job. You guys do your job.
And let's work together because to the point is we do need the revenue right now because we're in a tough spot.
Okay, what else? Anything else?
What is a rough estimate of the revenue we're talking about?
We don't even have the figure yet, do we?
don't have it.
We don't have the figure yet.
We're still looking, yeah, we don't know.
We've been pushing and pushing, and here's now April 2nd. They promised April 1st. Wendy's been sending emails to Mark.
And we're paying this company?
No. We haven't paid him. That was the second section of asking,
Yeah, we gotta talk about
Catalyst
that.
vendor of review of outstanding invoices. And that,
Do you want to move on to that?
yeah.
Okay.
Are we settled on on the vendor issue of personal property? Any discussions? We're fine? Okay.
Have to keep, yeah, we gotta get there, that's all.
Okay, the second would be the Patriot Vendor FY24 review of outstanding invoices.
Okay, so we currently have 3 outstanding invoices from Catalyst Patriot totaling $31,418.75. That is part of the remaining contracted $45,700 for fiscal year 24. So there are I'm presenting 3 options. One, we pay all 3 invoices for the total of $31,000. We are still awaiting a few outstanding items. So I just want to acknowledge that. The second option is we pay the largest bill, $20,816.35, based on the progress report dated October 31st, 2023, showing 20% of the improved data collection for cyclical inspections. Third option is to pay 2 of the lesser invoices totaling $10,602.40. Those invoices are dated November and December 2023, and it's based on the progress report dated December 31st, 2023, showing 100% of the improved data collection is complete, but we still don't have a report on that. I don't have it. So
They finished the work but not produced a report to justify.
for the cyclical, yep.
In discussion? Hi,
I think.
Chrissy? What's your view on this?
The 20,000
Change?
and change that you said right now, we probably should.
The lesser, yeah.
Yeah, the lesser, and then when we get the rest of it,
So go with the 20 now, and we got the conclusion, including the reports needed, and a much cleaner version of the spreadsheet for that under Nova Val. We give them the rest, which is 10.
11,000, I think. Well, at 10.
No, BI.
change.
Yeah, B1, yeah.
So that way,
So it'll be option 2, 20K. We're also going to looking at some sort of form of compensation for the additional time spent from this department that is not unnecessary. If this was,
I would say
huh?
we can take that up. Let's just get through this and
Yeah.
get what
Yeah.
we
Right.
need, and we can
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
back at that
So,
later and talk about it.
Did I
But
make?
for right now, let's
There be a
just get the
motion
job
for
done.
20,000?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Unanimous, okay.
All right, you want to sign?
Okay.
By the way, there was a discussion with Mark that Winnie had with him, indicating that we're looking into paying the bill and everything else, and he's stating, I quote, "You don't have to pay the full thing right now."
So,
But do you think we could get that in writing? No. But that's his statement.
What does the contract say?
Huh?
Does the contract have dates included in your contract?
Yeah.
Which they're supposed to have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Performance dates?
Yes.
The progress reports are the dates, but I'm not sure that the progress report is itemized in the contract. I'd have to look.
Could we look into doing a contract in which their payment is contingent on their work? And
Work completed, right? Is work completed?
Work completed and meeting those dates.
Right,
future.
yeah.
We'll look into that more deeper, okay?
All right.
And there's also another issue too with that contract, Bob, that historically, the chair of the assessor department would sign the contract. It's going back for I don't know how many years, okay? Carol Bryan signed it before that. This time, for some reason, the chair was not put on to sign the contract. And we're looking into see why not. We were given a copy, but why the name wasn't put on there, but they'll find out.
Kathy, go ahead.
Oh, no, I think Mary Beth's gonna, I think we're gonna say the same thing. Yeah, you know, Mary Beth, yep.
The board completely voted unanimously to award the contract.
Right.
Yes, we did.
Okay, just for the record.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
good,
We
but
vote
even
for the
still-
contract, and
Even
we don't
still-
get a contract upstairs until we vote
Even-
for it
Exactly.
first.
Yeah, even still in the past contract,
I
the
saw
board
that as
voted,
well.
but the chair always signed
I saw
contract.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Yeah, so I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Mary Beth, that the legal went over that contract and they only had 2 signatory lines, or they took away
Who took away?
legal. Do I have that right?
I would have to check that legal
I'll have
looked
to
at it,
look
but legal
into it.
usually looks at most contracts,
So we
so.
got the contract
I'm not
format
sure.
from town council.
Right, but so many strange that town council looks at those contracts every period of time, and all of a sudden they decide to take one line out in the name, just so
See
happens?
if legal did
Just
that.
so happens?
Yeah, we're gonna check that. That was
We're gonna
my
check and
assumption.
see what
I mean, if they've done it for years, probably 20 years, all of a sudden, no more involved with the chair.
The process started, I think, in January, February or so, and it ended in, I think you voted like May 1st or
May
whatever.
23rd.
Final contracts.
And
back
you
forth.
signed it
Went
June
out to
3rd,
June,
June
correct. So
20th.
I
Yeah.
didn't start this process, but I did finish this process.
So Frank
but
Lynham started the RFP
He did.
process.
He did the whole
Right.
RFP.
Yeah.
So it was, I'd have to look and see if it went to legal or whatever, how that document came to be. But I certainly, never touched the document. It is what it is, and
Yeah, 'cause we're making contact with Steve, what's his name, the executive vice president?
Ashbacker?
Ashbacker too.
Yeah.
Ashbacker signed the contract, executive vice president.
from Carol's
Yeah,
side.
Harold doesn't, Mark doesn't sign the contract anymore. That's what I'm saying, what is really in there?
So
Mark
probably a new contract because it's now with Patriot Catalyst as opposed to the old
Ah.
contracts that had the 2. That's
We just have
probably
to see-
Catalyst's
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
We just have
more
to
than
see it.
likely. It is.
Yeah. I'm only concerned of it coming down to the final court, okay? If that's their practice, or is it, something else, and we'll find out by contacts, your backing and
Sure.
us checking, and we'll get it resolved. Yes.
I'm speaking as taxpayer right now, just a taxpayer,
Yeah.
not just a citizen. That's a contract that pertains exclusively to this board. I know legal, they might have to pay for it, it's fine, but the ultimate contract for expectation, it should be this board's names on it in the future. It usurps, even if they voted for the contract, when they're having conversations with this company, it should be understood that this is the executive board elected.
The governing board?
The governing board elected by the people to make those contacts and to make those.
Yeah.
To make those requests.
I agree. See, I think what happened was that in the past,
I understand that, but
In the
ultimately
past,
somewhere-
the signature was
Even
either by the
listed on
clerk, or the town administrator to validate payment. So they're gonna get
Yeah.
paid, okay, not from the board, but for the payment, and that's what included Frank and,
we'll probably have to get that other line back on there.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Catalyst. It's
We could
but
do
that was just,
that. Or list contact people. Ultimately,
Yeah.
it boils down to the voter's choice in every situation, that we don't ever do
keep
it.
in mind, Catalyst has changed too.
right.
Yeah,
Systems,
that's-
personnel, and you don't know where, what, and
Documents.
they're such
Contracts.
they're such a huge conglomerate. I was in line, I couldn't believe. They did over 20 acquisitions in the last year or so, okay? Swapped to smaller companies. And and that's just it.
Things happen.
Yeah, they do.
Well, let's see, next,
I think that we have to,
we're going to executive session.
for a big
Anything else?
and personal exemption.
Unless you want to do
Do what?
the rest of the regular open stuff, like
Yeah, why
payroll.
don't we just do that?
Okay.
We can just do the abatements and the
Okay.
exemptions
What, the regular open session?
and the appellate stuff.
Okay, so let's do,
With the payroll and stuff?
yeah,
Yeah.
you want to do that?
Let's get it done. And then we can close out after we do our abatements.
So we're not gonna reopen after the executive session? Okay, fine, whatever you want.
Yeah, let's do
I'm only one member.
Let's do this first until
Okay.
it's all done.
All right.
Do we have a lot?
No, we don't.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes
All
sense.
right. So I have one other invoice, $4.29 for Crystal Rock Water.
$4. Yeah. What?
Yep. Next, I have payroll dated pay period ending March 16th, 2024, March 23rd, 2024, March 30th, 2024. Signed.
There's no need for a vote on these.
Yeah.
This is the exciting part.
What?
This is the exciting part, I said.
That's gonna run out of ink.
So what's it like in the comfortable chairs?
Huh?
It's
I
nice.
like these chairs.
They're nice.
He wants them here.
We wouldn't be able to fit them.
We might lose a few. They might lose a few downstairs. This is a nice chair.
I know.
We couldn't fit them down there.
Yes. You can have it in June.
Huh?
Is it hot up here?
Giving it up. No, it's nice up here. I mean, it's not cold.
You ain't done? Okay.
All right, so next I have
Good.
motor vehicle excise, packet number 1467,
You don't need one on
for a total of,
no vote, right?
sure, $4,278.45. And that's all motor vehicle.
Motor vehicle vote. Okay. That's packet 1467.
Yep.
Any discussion on the packet? Vote on it. Motion.
Motion?
Second. All in favor?
Don's packet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll make a motion.
Huh?
The next packet's yours, so I'll have Heidi do it.
Sign it.
I wish.
You cannot sign your own.
You need the list.
Yes, you have a. Thank God you have a short name. Think about that. Poor Chrissy with her name. Okay.
During my middle name, it's like.
All right.
All right, so we have one other motor vehicle excise packet. It's packet 1466. Total is $167.05. And John can't sign it, so it will be Heidi and Chrissy.
Okay,
Discussion. Vote on it.
no, motion?
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Okay.
The only time I get to sign on the top line.
I like that one, huh? You've been elevated.
Thanks. So if we could sign application. And then also the certificate.
Sure.
The yellow certificate just has to be signed in
Huh?
all 3 sections.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Right, we'll give them to her. You give them to Julie?
Yeah, well, yeah, when we're done.
No, it's here. It's all right.
So if you could sign all 3.
Okay, I see.
Yep.
Because we have a 3 stamper, not a 2 stamper. Okay. Well, we done? Good.
I have an excise commitment and a boat excise.
Excise commitment?
Yep. All right, so the next is 2024 motor vehicle excise commitment number 2 for $231,252.70.
This entire packet?
Yep.
Any discussion on this?
Nope.
Motion?
Motion.
Second? All in favor? Okay.
That's just the proof packet. Just put this at the top. That's all part of it. All right. Last one is, so I have a boat excise commitment number 1
Okay.
for $243. All right, so sign both sides.
Can you vote on it? No, huh? Can I
Sure.
vote?
Sure, yeah.
Any discussion on this?
No.
Huh? Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Oh,
Oh,
the other side. Okay. And then the packet.
You know, I always question what happened to the Paper Reduction Act that was signed many years ago.
1978.
Yeah.
I have a paper mache goddess
Huh?
on my front porch. If anybody's driven by my house,
Yeah.
it's all Whitman paperwork. It's out in the basement.
Then again, too, if we reduce it that much, people lose their job. Paper
I haven't
companies.
had paper at my job in years. Many, many years.
Next. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it?
That's it. Okay.
Anything else?
This have
Nope.
I guess.
Okay, we're going to close the open session at 5:14. And we're going to open up the executive session.
And not to reconvene, right?
Huh?
Not to reconvene.
Not to reconvene.
Not to be convened.
Yeah, I have to say not to reconvene.